is Boise Air Terminal /down. Information Hotel 171 for Zulu. Visibility 50. Temperature 25°.6. Winds 9 degrees 4 knots. Altimeter 2986. Departures using runway 10 left. Arrivals using runway 10 right. Goodbye. You have Information Hotel.
Boise clearance, Alaska 525, radio check, 125.9er.
Runway.
Boise clearance, Alaska 525, radio check, 125.9er.
Alaska 525, readability 5.
Readability 5, also Alaska 525. Boise clearance, Alaska 525, ready for clearance, Memorial.
Alaska 525, stand by.
It's actually Freedom Memorial.
Alaska 525, clear to Friedman Memorial Airport, Boise 3 departure, then as filed. Expect 15,010 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 119.6, squawk 3013.
Alaska 525 is cleared to Freedom Memorial Airport, Boise 3 departure, then as filed. Departure frequency 119.6, squawk 3013.
Alaska 525, departure frequency 119.6, squawk 3013.
Alaska 525, departure frequency 119.6, squawk 3013.
Alaska 525, read back correct.
Boise ground, Alaska 525, request startup.
Alaska 525, startup approved.
Roger, Alaska 525. Okay, going through the startup checklist here. Battery is on, standby power is on. Center fuel pump is required, it is not required today. The APU start, it is started. APU generator on. It is on. APU bleed on. Position light steady. Logo lights as required. APU generator volts and amps. And it is good. Cabin lights is required. Emergency exit lights on. IFE cabin utilities passenger seat signs on. Seat belts on. Isolation valve auto. Tax auto high. Recirculation fans on. Engine hydraulic pumps on. IRS mode selected to nav. Are on nav. Transponder to standby. Master caution disengage. FMC check it for complete. FMC is complete. Okay. Fuel checked and loaded. Fuel is loaded. Instrument airspeed, Mach setting, 250. Heading, heading is set. The initial altitude, 9.86. Boise ground, Alaska 525, request altimeter setting. Just confirm
Alaska 525, altimeter 2986.
Roger, Alaska 525. Wanted to confirm that. Okay. Okay, so minimums we're going to set about 5,000. Let's check our minimum setting here. $5,600. Takes a long time to bring this up. We're currently about 2,800 feet in altitude, and we're going to be landing at 5,318 feet in altitude. We set our minimum about 5,600, 300 feet above the elevation for Freedom Memorial. Coming up on it now. Minimums are set. The odd damper on. Flight controls A and B guard closed. Window heat on. Flight altitude is 15,000 today. Landing altitude is 5,300. This is for our cabin pressurization. Okay, flight directors on. They are on. Leading edge test. And it is good. Stall test 1 and 2. And no alarms. Light test. And all lights are good. The anti-ice test. And it is good. Acknowledge. Pack overheat test. And it is good. And an acknowledge. Flight recorder is normal. Fire test. Loops A and B. Loops A and B are good. Cargo test. And on fire extinguishers for the cargo area. Auto brake, RTO. Doors denied. Takeoff configuration test. It is good. Landing gear down. Landing gear is down. Anti-collision light on. Wheel well license required. Auto throttle arm. Fuel pumps 1 through 4 on. Center fuel pumps as required. Not today. Electric hydraulic pump on. Parking brake is on. Cap panel. Engine area is clear. Clear to the left. Clear to the right. Call ground.
This is the ground crew. Go ahead.
Yeah, ground. We're ready for pushback. Go ahead with that. Give us about 5 minutes. Okay. So packs are off. And recirculation. Off. And we'll be starting at number 1. Boise Ground, Alaska 525 at gate 10 with information hotel, ready to taxi with clearance.
Alaska 525, taxi to runway 10 left via Alpha.
Taxi to 10 left via Alpha. 525. Okay.
Alaska 525, taxi to runway 10 left.
Taxi to runway 10 left, Alaska 525. Okay. Engine start switch number 1 off. Engine generator number 1 on. Generator 1 volts and amps is good. It's good on the bus. Starting engine number 2. Ground is waving at us to push back, so we're going to push back. Adding fuel number 2. You have a successful light off. Switch off. Generator number 2 online. Yeah, we'll continue with the starts. Alright. Generator number 2. Volts and amps are good. Good on the bus. Probe heat on. Pressure alarm on my flight control A. Alright, cleared. Alright. Anti-ice is required. Isolation valve auto. Packs auto. Auto. Left and right packs. Pack bleeds on. APU bleed off. And APU on. Circulation fans auto, trim air on, engine start switches to continuous. Okay, flap set to takeoff at the flaps 5. Alright. Elevator trim is set for takeoff. And taxi to the assigned runway.
With the safety features of this aircraft, please pay attention to the flight attendants. First of all, we demonstrate how to fasten and unfasten your seatbelt. If there is a loss of cabin pressure, oxygen masks will automatically drop from the cabin ceiling. If that happens, pull one of the masks towards you and press the opening firmly over your nose and mouth. Then assist any children traveling with you. Your life jacket is under your seat. Please observe the following demonstration. Pull the life jacket over your head, attach the straps to the hook in front, then pull the belt until it is tight. Just before you leave the aircraft, pull these red tabs to inflate your jacket. If necessary, use the rubber tubes to inflate it. Should you leave the aircraft through an emergency exit over the wings, do not inflate your jacket until you have left the aircraft. This small signal lamp lights up on contact with water when you pull the plug out of the battery. You will find an information card explaining all safety instructions in the seat pocket in front of you. Please take particular note of the location of the 8 emergency exits, which are all identified by the word exit. Illuminated escape path markings will guide you to these exits, and please keep in mind that the next available exit might be behind you. If you have any further questions, please do not hesitate to ask one of your flight attendants. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now ready for takeoff.
Contacting the tower here shortly. Continue with our checklist. Before takeoff checklist, parking brake set. Fuel flow reset. Alright, center fuel pumps is required, not required. De-ice is required, it is not required today. Cabin lights are off. Flight instruments check. Altitude set. All the instruments look fine. Takeoff data is V1, VR, and V2. Our V1 is 136. Our rotate is at 137, and our V2 is at 145 today. Nav settings are set. Course is 310 today. 310. Taxi lights off, landing lights on. Okay, strobe lights on. Transponder on. Weather radar on. Station airports on. Flap set for takeoff and start the clock. And we are good to go. Going to be a very difficult landing today at Freedom Memorial. Weather report there shows that it's totally socked in.
Alaska 525, wind 100 at 4, cleared takeoff, runway 10 left.
10 left.
Cleared for takeoff, 10 left, Alaska 525.
Alaska 525, cleared takeoff, runway 10 left.
Runway 10.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 10 left, Alaska 525. Yeah, like I say, it's socked in today. They don't have an ILS or a DOR. So we have GPS to get in there today. We know all the altitudes, and as long as our instruments are working good, we should be able to break out of the clouds if there are some, and find the runway and land safely. Alright, B1. And rotate, gear up, positive rate. We have flaps up. And we'll move over to the autopilot. Autopilot is on.
Alaska 525, climb and maintain 13,000. Proceed direct, freeze and nimble.
Climb and maintain 13,000. Proceed direct to Freedom Memorial, Alaska 525.
Alaska 525, contact Big Sky departure 119.6.
119.6, Alaska 525. Big Sky departure, Alaska 525 with you, leaving 5,600, climbing 13,000.
Alaska 525, Big Sky departure, roger.
After takeoff checklist, gear is up and locked. Flaps up. Okay. Engine start switches off, or as required. Turn them off is fine. Okay, autopilot on. Landing lights off at 10,000 feet. Seat belts off as required. We can turn the seat belts off now. It's a little early, but it's okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has turned off the fasten seatbelt signs and you may now move around the cabin.
It's a winter flight today. A lot of snow out there. Coming up on 10,000. And landing lights off. And we can increase our speed now to 330. We'll continue our climb. We should hear soon from ATC giving us clearance to 15,000. Checking over everything, making sure we're all good to go. Everything looks fine.
Attention all passengers, we will be starting our in-flight ready in about 5 minutes. Please turn your headset to channel 7 for sound in English, channel 9 for French, and channel 10 for Spanish. Thank you.
A little bit of turbulence here. Looks like we do have just a little bit of a storm ahead of us. See what it looks like when we get there. Oh yeah, I see lightning flashes up there. Kind of see a little bit of turbulence here from the little tassel hanging down here. This is a motion controlled cockpit.
Alaska 525. Climb and maintain 15,000. Proceed direct Friedman Memo.
Climb and maintain 15,000. Proceed direct to Friedman Memorial, Alaska 525.
Alaska 525. Contact Salt Lake City Center 118.05.
118.05, Alaska 525. Salt Lake City Center, Alaska 525 with you, leaving 14,600, climbing 15,000.
Alaska 525, Salt Lake City Center. Roger. Altimeter 986.
We will start our board service in a couple of minutes. First, we will serve you a breakfast and free drinks. After that, you will have the opportunity to buy goods from our duty-free shop. Thank you.
Trying to go a little bit around the clouds here. Pretty severe ones here. We're up to altitude now. We are going to turn on the anti-ice just because we see moisture out there.
Alaska 525, contact Salt Lake City Center 128.55.
Alaska 525. Salt Lake City Center, Alaska 525 with you at 15,000.
Alaska 525, Salt Lake City Center, Roger, altimeter 2986. Alaska 525, contact Hailey Tower 125.6.
Alaska 525. So, town is called Hailey, Idaho. So, the airport name is Freedom Memorial, but Hailey, Idaho. Hailey Tower, Alaska 525 with you at 15,000.
Alaska 525, flight heading 0900, descend and maintain 9,000. Expect vector to GPS runway 31 approach.
Flight heading 090, descend and maintain 9,000, Alaska 525. We're going to slow up here to about 180. Weather shows only about a 400-foot ceiling, so over the airport. So it's going to be an interesting landing. Okay, we're going to go flaps 1. We'll set up our landing. We're going to set our auto brake on 3. It's not that long of a runway, so we need to stop fairly quickly. 2. Yeah, you can see we're already back in the clouds here.
Alaska 525. Immediately descend and maintain 9,000.
Descend and maintain 9,000 Alaska 525. Yeah, we got quite a few little updrafts here preventing us from getting down quickly. Flaps 10. Definitely in the clouds. I see freezing rain outside. And the ice is on. Hailey Tower, Alaska 525, request altimeter setting.
Alaska 525. Altimeter 986.
Roger, Alaska 525. Well, I thought maybe it might have changed. We're set up for landing now. Landing lights on. Engines start switches to continuous. Gear down. Flaps 15. Airspeed is 150. We're slow up here. You're landing at approximately 138 miles an hour today. Flaps 25.
Alaska 525, turn left heading 075.
Turn left heading 075, Alaska 525.
Alaska 525, descend and maintain 8,000.
Descend and maintain 8,000, Alaska 525. Flaps 30.
Alaska 525, turn left heading 360.
Turn left heading 360, Alaska 525.
Alaska 525, cleared for GPS runway 31 approach.
Cleared for GPS runway 31 approach, Alaska 525. You're going to descend down to 5,600. Try to stay underneath the clouds here.
1,000.
Oh, it's going to be an interesting landing here. Flaps 40. Alright, flaps are set. Engines continuous. Landing lights on. Spoilers armed. Auto brake 3. End of checklist. Try to get down to our minimums. Pilot off. Auto throttle off. And I can see the runway.
Alaska 525. Cleared to land runway 31. Wind 300 at 4.
Cleared to land runway 31, Alaska 525. Normally they would not let you fly so low over the town like this. I'm just pointing that out. Do a lot of stuff in the flight simulator that you wouldn't be allowed to do in real life. Reverse thrust on.